Good morning. Welcome to Flat Earth Early Bird number 2500. I'm your host Arwin, and before I start the show, please don't forget to share it on any platform you deem fit, and if you haven't already, follow me here on Rumble and be here when I'm going live, which is normally 2 p.m. Amsterdam time every day. And please also do support me through the PayPal, Patreon, Gifts and Go, links are in the description box below, or send me super chat over at the Rumble live chat when the show is live, or subscribe to my channel, support me that way. Any support would be greatly appreciated. I can really use it. Please support your local Arwin. One last time in this year. Right. So, yeah, starting a little bit late. I got a busy morning, very busy. Weather is, I don't know, it's kind of started out big gray soup. It was really cold. I mean, it was really cold, like before 12 o'clock. But it kind of warmed up gradually. So now it just isn't that extremely cold anymore. It really shifted very rapidly. Because it was like painfully cold this morning. But now it isn't. For some reason. Right. Anyway, it's mostly clouded. It's not really a big gray soup. There is some blue sky in between here and there in the distance, not overhead. There's rain coming out of this type of clouding too. Yeah. Seems to be absolutely no wind whatsoever though. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think of this weather. I mean, it's fine, I guess. Could be worse. Right, I had a busy morning. First off, my friend from Nijmegen basically called me out of my bed, which I do not generally appreciate. But I mean, yeah, there was a situation and yeah, she just needed me, and so yeah, I am there for her too, you know, as she is for me at times. And then, Stas Moretz, who I know from like from the YouTube days, from what is it? From the early bird shows. It's like 6, 7, 8 years ago. I don't even remember. Way back. Like I had him on the panel one time, like on camera and everything, with a early bird show. And then he kind of dropped off the radar for a long time. But yeah, he basically came for a visit and wanted to donate some clothes that he was gonna put in the Goodwill bin, basically. And I was like, yeah. So yeah, awesome. Thank you so much, Taz. And I hope to see you around some more. I mean, he's an awesome dude. Dude, he was crushing it. He looked like sharp, freaking wealthy too. I mean, yeah, I'm envious, but I mean, I'm glad that somebody out there is doing good at least. That's always how I see it. It's not like, oh my god, I'm poorer than you. No, it's just, I'm just really glad that somebody that's actually a good guy is doing great. Like, that's good for the world, and so it's good for me. And I mean, he wanted to help me, so I'd be a retard to actually act out jealous or something. Right, but I mean, he was crushing it, and good to see him, and yeah, hope to see him around some more maybe. Right, so we got a couple of new clothes. I mean, new black pair of pants, which is like, I really appreciate that because, well, I only had one now. One to replace the old one was getting full of holes. I even got a white shirt out of it and some other things, and great. Also, another weird thing, there was a chair. There was a chair just sitting there right next to the garbage. And, well, it looked pretty damn good, actually. So, yeah. Here is the chair. I carried it all the way up on the staircase. And, yeah, I mean, that looked pretty sweet. It's a good chair. It's not broken, not damaged or anything. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's going to be a suitable replacement for this chair though, because it is basically too big. But it's a good enough chair that I'd be like inclined to keep it somewhere, and then if I gonna move, I'm taking it with me. Because, I mean, this is a freaking good chair, man. I mean, it's great. It's just a little bit wider than this silly little super heavy broken down chair that's like... I mean, this chair is as worn out as you could possibly get. Anymore, and there would be no cloth on it whatsoever. It's super worn down, but the thing is, it's small and that works really well. Well, this is kind of more like a comfy desk chair, and that works really well when you have a lot of room. I don't have a lot of room, so yeah, now I'm like, oh, I got a great chair, but I can't actually really use it, so I think I'm just gonna put it in the downstairs room as an extra chair. And then we'll see, and if it doesn't work out, well, I'll just put it back where I found it. Right, but yeah. Weird day, very busy, new clothes, new chair. Yeah. New coffee. New croissant. I really needed that. I don't do this often anymore because I'm freaking poor and I can't afford it, but I mean, I got up earlier than usual and I've just been freaking hungry. So it's just, I can't wait like throughout my show until I get to lunch. I just gotta eat something now, and that something is a croissant. Hey, Sailor Twift. That is Stas Moretz. Good to see you. Guess what? You're getting a wrench. What? As soon as I can figure out how to freaking do that. What the hell? So now I can't just add moderators as a standard? That's weird. I thought that was in the drop-down menu. I guess not. Yeah. Now moderate, it's because I mean, you are as identified as it can be. We literally met face to face and you gave me stuff. And you seem to have really good energy and I trust you. So you're gonna get a wrench just to freaking identify you. Because I mean, I don't expect people with wrenches to do moderation, because once the trolls get going, it's too much anyway. I don't expect you to like, oh, you moderate off 24/7, because they'll just play into that to try to wear you out to scare you away. But yeah, you got a wrench, and thanks for everything. Sorry. Oh, it's been a long time since I had one of those. Anyway, yeah. I'm stocked back up on coffee, so I'm provided for that part for the coming month. My real issue is going to be, where the fuck am I going to get food? For real. Don't think I have enough money reserves to actually pay for food the entire month. No guarantees that the food bank is actually gonna like not let me starve to death this time. Because I don't have 10,000 euros debt. And so it's not enough. So, oh, you don't have 10,000 euros? That, well, then you can go fuck yourself and starve to death. Because we're not going to give you food. I don't know. Maybe it's going to be different. I hope so, because, I mean, I'm going to be really freaking hungry otherwise. But not right now. Right now, I have a croissant. I can't believe that there was a time where I would have a freaking Illuminati croissant like every day. I can't believe it. Like, I literally can't believe that I could afford that. It's crazy. Hold on. Sorry about that. Wow. Wow. Wow, this is insane. Sorry, just yeah. I'm gonna yeah, it's been a very irregular morning. Let's just be very clear. I already explained it. It's been very irregular, weird. And I got the freaking call and I'm just getting distracted all over the freaking place. Right, let's continue. It is Monday, the 29th of December, 2025. temperature is 6 degrees Celsius with 84% humidity, 8 kilometers an hour wind, 12% precipitation. And oh, no more freezing forecast next weekend. It's just gonna sit around 0. Ugh, okay. No, it's not gonna get warm anytime soon, but at least no more bitter deep freezing, which is like very unpleasant here. Because then I get frozen too, and I have to keep the window closed, the balcony door. Right. Yeah, I'm just looking around in the news, and I'm bumped into this crazy story apparently in the Netherlands, where apparently a farmer, Johan Reuver and Angela Kamphuis, very Dutch names, were basically having the book thrown at them by the Dutch court over terrorism, and they flagged the word bomb. This is literally a Dutch bomb, B-O-M, B-O-M, right? Which is like the word bomb, which English adds a B to. But yeah, they marked the word bomb 300 times in like something that he was writing about on his website. But they did that because the guy was in tree labor work. And guess what trees are called in the Dutch? Bomen. B-O-M-E-N. So they literally, and yeah, oh, you're doing tree work? Yeah, there's gonna be 300 times the word tree on the website, but they tagged every word of it like it was a bomb. I mean, sick fucking crap, man. I mean, the people that did that, like, they need to go to jail. They need to be deprived from being able to work in the judicial system forever, blacklisted forever, and they need to be publicly shamed and put a dunce hat on and have tomatoes thrown at them. This is absolutely atrocious beyond imagination that they would do this. Yeah? Accusing them of terrorism with this kind of deceptive shit. I mean, this is beyond anything. This is like 12-year-old nasty playground behavior, or 12-year-old girls, except they are in government and they can just declare people terrorists. I mean, what the fuck, man? What the fuck is wrong with these people? Holy shit. And I mean, the guy, the farmer guy, he has been like, yeah, we are not submitting, like, at all. Because, dude, I hope he crushes them legally and lawfully. Crushes them. Those people that are responsible for that, they need to be losing their jobs and never getting it again. If not just directly put in jail. This is so unbelievably corrupt. Like even frickin' Stasi Germany people would be embarrassed for something like that. Like, that's even embarrassing to those people. And those people are like the worst snitches imaginable. They have no shame. This is so embarrassing. It's just, I can't imagine people actually did that. Where can you read more? Okay. Let's see if we can find. Okay, this is an original newspaper. Yeah. This is here is the link to that article. Oh God, I hate it when you. Hey, internet, not just any internet. Yeah, I click on something to a link. Well, guess what? I don't want the fucking original website from which I got the link included in the hypertext, you fucking piece of shit! Like, who the fuck ever wants that? Ever! Nobody ever wants that. It's so fucking stupid. Nobody wants the fucking hyperlink text from the website you got the link from and clicked it. Nobody ever wants that. Who the fuck made that? That person should be fired. Probably a long time ago, so they're already fired, but Jesus Christ. When you click a link, you only want the link in the browser. You do not want the fucking hyperlink text from the website you found the link on. Who the fuck does that? God. Anyway, here is without the stupid website I got it from, the link for you, Jigglypuff. Very Dutch looking couple, by the way. I mean, that's as frickin' Dutch as it gets, man. And of course, they have to be attacked because they're too Dutch. You're too Dutch, you're not multicultural enough, and so you're a terrorist. And you need to be replaced by some weird brown person or anybody that just doesn't look extremely Dutch and can barely speak English. Right? And those can do anything. Can get away with crimes, murder, rape, theft, anything. But you put the word tree 300 times on your website because you have a tree work company. They're gonna mask it as if you're saying the word bomb 300 times and then arrest you for terrorism. SWAT team you for that. Like, who the fuck does that? Psychos. Psychos in power that need to be dislodged from power and either put in jail or in a mental institute. Need subscription? I don't. Yeah, you just... Yeah, the subscription thing? Yeah, in the right upper corner, there's a little cross. You go to the little cross, you click it. Guess what? That page that's on top of the article, it goes away. Yeah? This is not pay to read. It's just, please subscribe to our website. That's what that is. That's all. Right, so. Also interesting here. I mean, this is an article down my lane. Side effects of medication causes every year 40,000 hospitalizations, of which 98% are not even reported. Yeah? Side effects from pharmaceutical medication cause 40,000 hospitalizations every year in the Netherlands. Trust the science, though. Trust big pharma. Trust the pharmaceutical medication. Don't try anything alternative. Something might happen to you. Oh, how many hospitalizations from people that experiment with alternative treatments? How many hospitalizations a year with those? Huh? 0? Maybe 1? Yeah. But I mean, standard pharmaceutical medicines, yeah. 40,000 hospitalizations every year. Yeah. But trust your doctor, though, right? I mean, yeah, those prescriptions is just great, and the health insurance reimburses them, so they must must be the right thing. Yeah, yeah, except for those 40,000 hospitalizations because of pharmaceutical side effects every year in one nation of like 15 million people, right? You can read the main recap, not the full. Yeah. What, do you need to read the entire damn thing? Do you really need to? Dude, sorry, this is just all I got. I mean, do you need to know more? Like, do you want to read the entire book about it? I mean, it's news, and yeah. I think I pretty much summarized it. Oh wait, it is a pay to read. That's weird. That's very strange. It showed the entire article to me earlier. How weird. Okay. In that case, I will give you the 9 for News article, which, I mean, it's not much bigger, but this is where I got it. So here is no, oh, you have to pay or you can't read anything. But it's basically 1 page of text. I pretty much summarized it with what I said, right? And I mean, this shit happens. It happens. It does actually happen. So I'm just reporting out on things that happen here to people, and just the sick sociopathic ways that just government in a very corrupted manner cracks down on completely innocent, non-criminal citizens, civilians. It's psychotic. And like evil, like it just makes them look really evil. Like, how are you gonna restore trust in government when you just do corrupted, psychotic actions like this? So fucked up. They got pretty hard to handle. Yeah, no, of course they did. That's the entire point of it. They mentioned that in the article. Is there a coup? No, there is not a coup, but I mean, there might become, it might get there. The government's illegitimate. They are criminals. They are about to be completely, totally convicted criminals. They have committed crimes that have been established to be crimes. All these people have committed crimes that has been recognized to be crimes that they committed. Yeah? These people in the government, this cartel, these people, they have so many corruptions and crimes on their record now. Yeah, there might be a coup. There might be. I don't know who's gonna do it, because I mean, the person that's gonna organize that, they're gonna get the full-blown heat. They are gonna get like massive SWAT raids on their ass, anything to stop that person that's gonna organize it in a central way. So I'm not even gonna, like, I'm just waiting until it happens. Yeah, and when it has happened, then I will report on it, and then I will name names. Until then, I'm not gonna name anybody. Yeah? I'm not gonna name anybody. I'm just gonna wait until it happens, and then when it has happened, I will praise the shit out of the individuals that organized it. The government illegitimate implies that it was a coup. Yeah. No, but there's just like government organized fraud. There is a big chance that there had been voter fraud. It's just not even been addressed. It's a giant mess, and I mean, the amount of corruption that's out in the open that has been happening for years now is so staggering that it just, people are just flustered about it. Like, we don't know even what to think about it anymore. It's so corrupted, so out in the open, corrupted and evil, and just lying, breaking the laws. Like, not just tiny little details, not fringe laws or like formalities. No, brutal, foundational, hardcore laws that can never be broken. Yeah, that's what they have been broken, one after another. They just keep doing whatever the fuck they want, like nothing, like they're dictators and nothing matters. That's how bad it has been. They're just completely breaking anything. They don't care. They don't care about the laws. They don't care about being caught. They don't care about the hypocrisy. They're just like, we are in control and we're gonna do whatever the fuck we want, no matter what is written in any book, constitution, law, or otherwise. Like, that's how they are acting. Like, out of control, shameless dictators. Conspirator dictators. That's how they're acting. So yeah, it's about damn time there would be a coup. Because this has just gone way out of control. I mean, record-setting amounts of tax money have basically been stolen. Handed away without permission, without good reason, just disappeared. Like billions of euros have just been handed off, and there's not even a fucking paper trail where it went. Yeah? Just handed off to people and disappeared. It's totally maniacal. Total corruption. Total unaccountability. Like, things cannot possibly get more corrupt unless they literally direct, like, hit squads to just assassinate people in their houses for no reason whatsoever. Like, that's the only step that could make it worse. Other than that, it's literally as bad as it can possibly get. That's how bad it is and how bad it has been. Only thing that's keeping this country stable is people's, what do you call that? Confirmation bias? No, it's just like people are just doing what they are used to doing, and they're not, people here are not easily out of control and like, oh, we're gonna riot. Like, no, people are just, they just want to go about their business, and they're gonna go about their business, even if everything goes to hell. That's very typically Dutch, and that's why we're not a giant burning pile of shit yet. Because everybody just keeps carrying on, because they're so freaking Dutch. That's it. Because the government is completely out of control. Anyway. A good state. Yeah, Jiggly. But yeah, what a good state is, that varies a lot from decade to decade, and maybe even year to year, right? I mean, 10 years ago, the state of Texas was looking really good. Really good. It was like, oh, this is the new place. Guess what? Texas is like, it's basically becoming the new California. So it freaking shifts a lot, right? Just like Minnesota was like this haven of quietness and purity. Now it's literally like an invasion harbor of Somalians. So yeah, oh, the states, the good ones. Oh, and how do you know which is the good one? Well, you just go by what is at the time and then hope it doesn't turn around 180 degrees in 5 years. Yeah? That's how it works in the States. Yeah, the United States is kind of unstable. Anyway, how's Montana? Cold. That's how it is. Alright, anyway. Yeah, hope everybody's appreciating the show. Don't forget to Rogan's it up if you are. I'm just going around watching the news. What's this? Ah. Wow, more 20,000 deaths? Because of medication abuse? Pharmaceutical medication? Wow, this is another article. Holy shit. That's on top of the hospitalizations, apparently. Oh, wait. Hold on. This is about America. Right. In the United States, there's 17,000 to 20,000 deaths every year. Deaths. And not hospitalizations like in the Netherlands. Deaths because of pharmaceutical medication. Yearly. Can you imagine that? 20,000 deaths every year. Specifically because of pharmaceutical medication. As in, there wouldn't be that if they didn't take it. Yeah, 20,000. It's not they didn't register a number of hospitalizations, but man, it's bad. Anyway, we have two articles, one about the Netherlands and the other about America. They always like have them split. It's like sometimes, oh, here's an article about the Dutch stuff, and oh, here's an article, and then it's like, those numbers are pretty large. This is probably about the US. The imported tech nerds. Who knows? Sailor Twift. I don't know the details. I mean, there's this whole special visa thing. HB visa. I don't know what the terminology is exactly. I can't remember. Because I mean, there's this whole policy of like importing Indians from India as tech operators because apparently that's really cheap. But yeah, I mean, there's issues with it, and it's politically being struggled about because I mean, of course, American tech workers, they don't want that. They want to just have a job, even though the salary of that's going to be higher. H1B. Yeah, exactly that one. H1B visas. So that's an ongoing political thing right now in the US. It's been like discussed and argued about for like, what is it now, a year? Pretty up front in everybody's face. So that's an ongoing thing right now. Because I mean, the US is struggling between like costs of labor because of all the laws and immigrants, the amount of immigrants and how out of control that gets. It's a really tough balance. Yes, I know, Jiggly. Yeah. I mean, Trump is just trying, man. He's just trying to fix things, but yeah. When you fix things economically, it's not always best for locals. And so he's just finding that like that early idea is not really working out that well. Like I can't even say like, oh, it's definitely this. Do you definitely need to pick that side in that argument? Like, no, I don't know. me personally, and I'm not a business guy or an economist, right? I'd say on an intuitive level, it would be best to find some kind of middle road. But yeah, is that feasible? Can you actually do that? The middle road, right? You don't want to completely exclude the possibility for any foreigners to come to your country to do specific labor, specialty labor. But you don't then want to open up the floodgates for them to basically bring entire tribes to your nation. You don't want that either. So how do you find that middle road? It's complicated. Right? Right, what else is going on? Oh yeah, the Zelensky meeting happened. Peace in Ukraine closer than ever before. European defense stocks slide? What the fuck does that even mean? Oh, is it financially sliding? Oh my god, that would be great. I mean, if the stock market that backs that supposed war economy, if it breaks, it's over. Then it's like over. Then they can't do that anymore. If the stock market in defense in the EU, if that breaks, if that's actually breaking like down, that would be fantastic, because then the game will just be over. All that bullshit about Russia threats and oh, we have to prepare and oh, they're coming, the Russians are coming, right? Well, if the defense stock market in the EU breaks, then that entire plan just immediately goes off the table. It will not be viable anymore. Then it's over. Then the war plans are over. That would be great. That would be a great relief. And it would also mean that, well, the freaking criminals are in really big trouble, because guess what will be next on the agenda if the war agenda is over? That's right. Taking care of our own corruption. Yeah? Prosecuting the corrupted people that have kind of been keeping going because of the threat of the war, right? Oh, the war takes priority. Yeah, well, if that suddenly stops, guess what's gonna happen next? Dude, maybe 2026 is gonna be the time of retribution. Maybe it is gonna be the year of the chopping block, and it's gonna finally be over. That is finally gonna be taken care of. That would be fantastic. Because I mean, these super corrupted people in power, they need to go. They need to be arrested. They need to be taken out of power before there can be a more cultural healing. Before all these Karens and all these woke people that have been placed in power that like create such a devastating mess and like release brutal illegal criminals and crack down on innocent locals. In order to get them out, the corrupted top need to be arrested first. They need to be completely out of government, and then a cultural shift can start to occur to basically sweat these woke, nutty people that are being kept in place by the corrupted top, to sweat them out and have them replaced with more sensible people so that the country can finally come to its senses again judicially. It needs to happen in that order, because those crazy people are like being kept in those positions on purpose by the corrupted top as a destabilizing agent. Like they put them there on purpose to create a muck, as a bureaucratic barrier for the people, problems that they can't move past. It's too much in their face, right? If you create a lot of problems for the people, then they're preoccupied with those problems and then they can't tackle you. That's why they do it. They're that corrupted. Yeah, they're so corrupt, so dictatorial that they employ that sort of tactic. That's why they do it. Put incompetent people in positions of power in law enforcement and the judicial system and as judges, and then the people are going to be preoccupied with the hazards that come out of that instead of going after the people at the top. That's that strategy. Well, if the war agenda now fails, the people in the top are going to be next, because it's all lined up. It's already been lined up. Yeah, those lawyers have been on their asses for a decade or more, and it's basically just been in wait because of supposed war priorities. If that stops, well, guess who's going to be on the chopping block? And when they're on the chopping block, well, then those people that are put in positions of power because of their incompetence and their idiocy can also finally be taken care of. They can finally be not taken care of criminally, but they can finally be just like replaced in an amicable way instead of through freaking revolution, which is just going to create more havoc. So this is a really good sign. It's that simple. A stock market decline of some kind, of a new agenda, is a giant towering sign. It's a fiery lighthouse that you can see everywhere. It's like, if you know how to interpret that, then you know this is a sign of big change. So things could really be turning around. I'm going to put it in the title. We barely have guns in there. Yeah, but we don't need them. There's no point anyway. Like, what's the point of guns when we're literally surrounded by countries that can just overrun us very quickly? Yeah, we're a small state. We can't survive through military power. This can never be. We're always going to have to be a negotiating state that thrives through business deals, being mediators, being leaders of groups. Like, that is how the Netherlands thrives, because we're a very small nation. We can never do anything like military on the long run, except organize a bigger military. Like, but just us, it's no way. It's not gonna happen unless we like build a giant fortress out of the Netherlands and like start to build really big walls and missile air defense. But I mean, it's none of that is sustainable. Right. Guns shot in the back. There is no gun shot in the background. Stop. Yeah, there's no gun shot here in the Netherlands ever. If you hear boom, that is never a gun. Not one fucking time ever. No guns. Yeah? This is not the freaking US. Yeah, I know in the US every boom means a gun. Not here, ever. It's fireworks. People fire fireworks regularly throughout the year, especially in the wintertime. There is no guns. No guns. No guns ever. Ever. Never ever guns. You never hear a gunshot, ever. Here, ever. It's always fireworks. Every single time, it's always fireworks. Never a gun, ever. I've never heard the firing of a gun, ever, here. Not one time in my 45 years have I heard a firing of a gun in the Netherlands. Okay? So let's not bring that shit up again, ever. Thank you. Alright? Right. Need to go? Yes, Sailor Twift, I really appreciate it. Thanks for being part in the chat. Hope you appreciate that first for 51 minutes of the show it's been kind of political. I had a song to share. Like this guy Tank, who hangs around on worldwide debates. He apparently like makes music, also AI assisted. And he made this song that he said was inspired on my conversation that I was having, and it is freaking epic. Like the text is like high level spirit mechanics, insight, wisdom. I've never, and like put into a song, I've never seen anything like this, like ever. I'm completely perplexed by it. So yeah, I also got the text of it, which is pretty big, and it is just, I mean, it's a fascinating song. It's sort of like standard house, very typical modern, but it's also, it has Arabesque or Egyptian tone system. So it's like, it's something else. Derpy called it snake hypnotizing music. Like snake charmers. Like, okay, Derpy, it shows what you know about freaking culture outside of the US. Retard. But yeah, I wanted to share that because I'm really impressed. And are you still gonna listen through that, or are you already gone? Because I'm gonna play that song. House? Yeah, house. Whatever the fuck that even means anymore, dude. House is like a 90s terminology. Nobody says that. Ever. Like, nobody's called music, any music, house for like over 20 years. Anyway. Right, so yeah, let me play that. I've listened to this song like at least 15 times already. It's gonna be the first time today, so yeah, let's go.
Before it's told, knows how the system bends, where the pressure goes. want change, they want a name. History's full of geniuses turned into flags. Reduced to slogans, hashtags, bags of rags. You build one solution.
I like it. It's like, it really titillates me. It's special. But the text is fucking brilliant. It's high level perceptive spirit mechanics wisdom. Like, this is my fucking level. This is like the thing that I try to talk about.
No.
And they made a freaking song out of it. It's just, wow. Holy shit. Anyway, what is this? Fuck off, dude. Don't freaking post troll videos here, asshole. Turkey crap. Turkey crap. No, you're just a fucking retard. Yeah? Turkey crap. No, it's not turkey crap. It has arabesque adjacent elements to it in the melody. Turkey crap. No, you're just a fucking retard who can't appreciate actual complicated melodic music. Yeah? That's what that is. Yeah? And this is not some standard Arab noise. It's just and boom kaboom kaboom kaboom. No, it's not that. Yeah? I hate that shit too. No, this is a pretty good song. And yeah, it has some slight non-standard arabesque adjacent melodic structures. Oh no. Yeah, not turkey crap. Thanks. I think it's freaking amazing. But I guess you all have that allergy, right? Because all you can hear is just a freaking Islamicist at 5 in the morning to say, doing a terrible job emulate. But yeah, I get it. Oh, that's all you're hearing. Well, guess what? They have an entire legacy of music and tone systems. And there's absolutely great things in it, yeah? And I appreciated that freaking 30 years ago. Before there was a Islamic invasion of the West, yeah? And those people invading didn't make that music, yeah? Those people are fucking degenerate retards that don't do anything except try to dominate others. Yeah? Those don't do shit. They don't make music. You think these immigrants that are here to conquer the place make music? No, they're just pieces of trash. Yeah? There is actual, like, capable Arabs and Turks and all that are very artistic and great, and have like a giant history of music, and they're awesome, and I appreciate that. I appreciate actual cultured Middle Eastern people, yeah, not the trash that comes over here because they had an invitation from some NGO to conquer the country and get free welfare. Yeah, fuck those people. It's not the same people. Someone could not decide what genre of music they wanted, so they used all of them. Okay. Yeah, it worked though. I liked it. I thought it was really sophisticated. I liked it. It had, and it's not like all Turkey, it had like an Italian feel to it too. And I mean, Italy is like right next. It's like next to Greece, which is next to Turkey. So it's like sort of arabesque Mediterranean in that direction. And it had a feel of like Italian, typical Italian music too, that they like over there. So it's a melange, but I really appreciated it. It was a great song. I'll play it again. I mean, I really I've listened to it a lot of times because I like the asymmetrical, somewhat ominous tone choices that they do. It's like they do really sophisticated melodic combinations, very subtle, that I really respect. Most people can't even sense what's happening. I can freaking sense it. It's like they're doing deep, complicated melodic structures there. And it's like, whoa. Like, I actually have the senses, the fine-tuned senses for music to actually pick up on that in a big way. So it's like, I'm very impressed. I don't care if you think it sounds like a bunch of turkey crap or whatever. I liked it a lot. Enough to frickin' play it on my show. And when do I ever play music on my show? It's extremely rare, so... Can we hear it again? Sure. Let's go. the way it ends too is just, the whole thing is a freaking piece of genius, man. It is. It is. I mean, and it is like, I think it's like completely from scratch AI generated, which is like very shocking. If AI can like the text too, if AI can write like this, just tell it make a song roughly like this with a couple of guidelines and it create this, that is astonishing. That is truly astonishing. It says apathy. I thought it said telepathy. Yeah, nobody says telepathy. There's no weird. This is all real. This is no fantasy element to it at all. Yeah? Everything that is described here is all perception of social, communicative, interactive processes. It's all spirit mechanics. There is zero supernatural, superhuman ability, special thing nonsense in it. Zero science fiction. Yeah, the entire text is 100% real. High wisdom, very the top of high wisdom and perception. No fantasy traits, no elements of that in here whatsoever. This is like ultra high perception text. Literally the level that I try to communicate with, on this level. I've never seen anything like this out there ever. Completely mind blown. Completely. Multiple spots in the text that completely blow my mind. That last line. Yeah. Intelligence isn't the urge to be seen, it's knowing when silence is the cleanest thing. It's basically the real smart ones know when to shut the fuck up, because saying something will just create chaos. Yeah. I know all about it. I've learned all about it in the last 10 years. Like, that's one of my main lessons that I had to learn. Because I started out just, I needed to get out what was on the inside that I just bottled up forever, to the point where it drove me crazy. Then I opened it up, and then I started to figure out like, oh, I'm finally open up, I overcome that. And then you just realize the entire world's fucking retarded, and you just need to learn to accept that the world's fucking retarded and there's barely anything you can do about it, and you're gonna have to mostly shut up and let people make their stupid ass mistakes. Yeah? That's what that text encapsulates perfectly. It's not worthy enough to put in the title. What does the first verse say? Okay. Verse 1. He reads 3 languages before the coffee's cold. Sees the ending of the argument before it's told. Sound familiar? Knows how the system bends, where the pressure goes, which wire to cut, how the outcome flows. Teacher said, you'll change the game someday, but the game learned faster how to make him stay. Oh, gives me shivers. So smart. Every door unlocked, every path made clear. Funny how the obvious makes movement disappear. That's the first verse. Right. I had, like, by the way, yesterday an amazing bunch of conversation over at Worldwide Debates for hours. Like, I mean, I had them on my show, and that was great. I mean, yesterday was a really good early bird show. Really good. If you haven't watched it, I definitely recommend watching 24.99 because it was maybe one of my best shows this year. But even after the show, like I went back later and had hours more conversation of like the highest level esoteric insights that I've had in a long time. Absolutely epic. And then a guy that I had the conversation with who really got me, he basically said, dude, you gotta check out this song. It reminds me of what you're talking about. And then I did, and it's like, whoa, holy shit. Yeah, I'm not gone, I'm just around the corner, Clark, Kyle. What's Worldwide Debate? It's a Discord group. Yeah, I joined that Discord group during the early bird show yesterday. Right, anyway, hope you all appreciate the show. Don't forget to Rogan's it up if you are. I mean, definitely deserve it. The show. Just for the freaking song alone. Right. What what are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, I'm gonna take a 2-minute break. Sorry. Don't forget to Rogan stuff if you're liking it. I'll be back soon. And I'm back. Alright, click. See you later. Gonna get a Rogan's up? Perhaps? Yeah, but I also like the pre-chorus. When you know how things collapse, you stop clapping for the fall. When you see the whole machine, you don't rush to pull it all. I mean, that like perfectly encapsulates what like my freaking Dark World visions about the collapse that was basically unfolding in front of me into the future. That's what that did to me. It's insane. Right? So he stays brilliant, still, and quiet on purpose. In a world that turns actions into a circus. Right? Just because they knew what was going to happen doesn't mean that they would be able to stop it, because anybody that tried, this circus is built around them, and then they don't actually make it stop. Like, it couldn't be stopped. The plan was set, and it was set in a way that it literally couldn't be stopped even if you knew what was coming. It also like that is like basically what Alex Jones, like, he saw these things coming, he had the documents, he said they had their plans, and he warned about it, and like it all still happened. And he was turned into a circus. I mean, it's literally what happened to him too. Every fix becomes a headline, every truth a fight. Every step into the light gets eaten by the light. If you're capable enough to see, enough to change the frame, you'll learn fast they don't want change, they want a name. History is full of geniuses turned into flags, reduced to slogans, hashtags, bags of rags. You build one solution, they sell it as fear, or blame you when the cracks were already here. Yeah. Social feeds hungry 24-hour eyes. They don't ask if you're right, just if you'll polarize. Just pick a side, right? And that is like the attitude of so many people. Just get caught up in these polarized games, and people don't care to find a solution to make it stop. They just want you to pick a side. It's amazing. So why fix a problem that feeds the machine when the machine survives by staying obscene? Whoa. Whoa. That's exactly what's happening. Power isn't pulling every lever you see. Sometimes it's knowing what not to be. Your crowd needs villains, saints, or kings. The smartest move is to refuse the ring. The only way to win is not to play, is what that says. So he stays brilliant, still, and out of the frame in a culture that confuses noise for change. Every move misquoted, every pause a crime, every thought compressed to a headline rhyme. If you're sharp enough to map the blame, you might sit it out and guard your name. I mean, it's like social media chaos. It's exactly how that works. Einstein warned about the weapons, not the math. I mean, that's a nice detail. Oppenheimer learned what follows the path. Don't necessarily understand that, but I mean, yeah, sure, it fits in there. Tesla died unheard while the light stayed on. The irony, right? The world loves the outcome, forgets who's gone. If you see the pattern, the rise and the burn, you don't rush to the stage just to watch it turn. Also, yeah, it's not apathy, it's precision, not fear, it's scope of vision, knowing intervention without consent just feeds the fracture it was meant to mend. So he stays capable, bored, and awake at night, watching simple answers fail in real time. He could speak, could lead, could set it straight, but the cost isn't effort, it's becoming bait. In a broken world that devours the brave, sometimes the boldest act is choosing not to play. And then the final sentence, of course, the crown that seals it, Rosetta Stone. Intelligence isn't the urge to be seen, it's knowing when silence is the cleanest thing. The whole text is just frickin' brilliant. Every part of it. I'm so impressed. Right. So yeah, that's the song called Unbreakable. I hope you appreciate me sharing that. I appreciate me sharing that. I hope you do too. And I hope it will be good enough for you to Rogan's up the show. Let's see what's out there. Right, 1.5 hours in, I'm gonna take a look around. If I can join a panel. Let's see what's over at Earth Awakenings. Okay, we don't know. Let's see my debates. Okay. Yeah, let's take a look over at Earth Awakenings. Let's see what they're up to. They might be in the middle of a discussion, although we'll see. Anyway, I'm joining up with them.
You do care about the rhetoric. That's the only thing you engage in.
No, I'm trying to establish with you, what do you consider true? What does true mean?
Comports
That
with
word.
reality. That's what I already told you. Comports with reality.
So anything that comports with reality is true.
Yes, that's correct.
Holy fuck, dude. That's just antiquated.
You want to explain why that's incorrect?
Do I want to teach you fucking basic shit? No. No. So you can argue with me about it?
Hello?
Not really.
Sounds like a feedback loop. What's truth? It's reality. What's reality? What's truth? So...
And I know it. How do you know something? Oh, I just know it because I know it. I know that it's true. It's all very convincing.
I mean, you could go by it, but it doesn't really explain it, though. Right? I mean, saying that the truth is based on reality and the reality is based on truth, that's like saying, well, we know
I didn't say
what
reality
time...
is based on truth.
Oh, really?
Yeah, of course not. Reality is just, it is what it is. It's a brute fact.
Okay.
Truth is our
I must have
description of
misheard you
reality.
then, because I'm pretty sure that that's exactly what you said earlier when I joined, but...
That reality is truth? No, I
You-
would never
you
say
were
such a
asked.
thing. That's weird.
How
Go
do
ahead.
you know what is true? Well, it's based on reality. I'm sorry, that's what you said.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I said. I didn't say reality is based on truth, though. Nonsensical.
I'm pretty sure you did. If you didn't
Well,
mean it,
that's
that's
kind of where it
fine.
was going. When you leave it that open-ended, you know, when someone's like, what is true? And you're like, well, it's based on reality.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly
Really?
what you
Like,
said.
that
so.
is so ambiguous and not even close to what the word true means.
Well,
You're
why
gonna have
don't
a
you give me
public
your
paper
very
about it.
correct definition?
I don't need to. I can just refer to a
Oh,
dictionary.
okay.
Yeah. The language we're using has a dictionary, so we can actually communicate in the same language.
Yeah,
That's
well,
what
why
we're
don't you
supposed
read
to
it?
do. We're supposed to like learn words and understand what they mean, so we can talk to each other. But if you
But
can't
isn't
get
it
past
like-
that hurdle, we're not going to be able to talk about anything.
Isn't it such like a classical like sophist technique to like pivot to, hey, can you give me the definition of your personal brand of epistemology so we can waste the next hour long talking about how we know anything about anything?
Yeah.
Like I don't think anybody actually wants to talk about that.
I agree.
I agree.
We are live, by the way, with the Early Bird Show. I hope you don't mind. Episode 2500.
You know, they don't think falsified means 100% false, but so then you can never know if anything's false or not. So when you falsify something, it could still be true, which is awkward.
Yeah, it's a stupid definition too, isn't it, Jeremy? Something being falsified would mean that it's been proven false. That's the definition.
Yeah, you've disproven something. Yeah, it's falsified, false, not true. I
Well,
know.
falsification is the testing of whether something is true or not.
So if something has been properly and validly falsified, then that means it is truly false.
It has been confirmed to be false. That's what that specifically means.
Okay, so something couldn't be properly and validly falsified unless it was truly false then.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not truly false, then how could it end up getting falsified? How could it end up being disproven unless it was false?
Okay, so I guess that we're on the same page then. There's no further need to go down that hole either.
Right.
So like type 2 errors do occur, right? When you get a false positive, or type 1 errors where you get a false negative.
But I said properly and validly. So I gave that condition.
Yeah, but if your methodology has an error where you get a false positive or a false negative, then under your worldview, you would assume that, okay, it can't possibly be false. It can't be a false result for this. I just have to assume that all my other testing is going to come up the same. Because I have
We were
Why?
granting that it was properly and validly falsified. And now you're giving an example where it wasn't proper or valid, where there was an error, which makes it not proper and valid. So once
How do you
again,
know when it's proper and valid?
You
it
figure
doesn't
it
matter how I
out.
know whether it's proper and valid. It's granted in the statement.
Right, and you know it's not proper or it is proper by going through the details of it and then figuring it out.
Maybe repeating the test a ton?
Scrutiny. No, it's scrutiny.
Like,
Yes,
like,
scrutiny, like repeating the test. Have
specifically
independent.
No,
to avoid-
repeating the test is not scrutiny. Going through what it is and the steps and figuring it out. That's scrutiny. Not just repeating the same thing exactly. That's not scrutiny.
we're specifically trying to avoid a giant discussion about epistemology, right? Like, if someone wants to argue about, oh, how do you actually know that you know that you know? Like, this is, while that's a pertinent thing to know, that's something you should already know before coming to the table about discussing anything in a debate. And someone trying to, like, bring that up is often, not always, but often doing so in order to try and cast and sow doubt upon a person's mind about how they even are able to be sure of themselves and create uncertainty in a person's mind about being able to draw meaningful conclusions. We don't need to do that here, right?
And then
Like,
they'll pivot so
everyone-
you can't know anything.
right.
No, you can't know anything. I can know lots of things based off of my definition.
Exactly. That's exactly. So we're not going to do that. We can talk about something else. Does anyone have anything actually, like, somewhat riveting or interesting to talk about?
Yeah, the laser ring gyroscope shows that the Earth is not stationary. Same with mechanical gyroscopes.
No.
Oh, is that what you think?
No, that's just wrong.
That's what I know.
Yeah, you know incorrectly. Your knowledge
So
is
can you
based on
explain why an
facts.
interference pattern in a ring laser gyroscope demonstrates the Earth's rotating?
Yeah, it shows that one direction is moving at a different speed than the other direction of rotation.
What's moving?
light. Light is
The
moving.
object, even if it's stationary on the Earth,
No.
it
How do you know that
registers
No,
gyro
that's
does
not what a
moving?
ring laser gyro does. Yeah, it's light.
Hold on. Wait. How do you know that the motion that's causing the friend shift is due to Earth moving?
because we've tried it on multiple different parts of the Earth. We've
Okay.
been able to predict accurately what those differences are going to be. So
That's
novel test
fine.
prediction with empirical confirmation is
Okay.
very strong for a claim.
No, it isn't though.
I understand
You
all
disagree
that.
with that?
No, but how does that lead you to the conclusion that it's the Earth that is moving? I agree with all that, and I still don't agree that it's Earth moving. are there any other possibilities of what could be possibly causing this interference pattern? Any other things that could be moving other than the Earth itself?
No, it doesn't.
Causing
It doesn't
the
even
interference
begin to
pattern on the
prove
ring.
that the Earth is moving. It doesn't even
It's the
begin to
object.
prove that it is a
It's-
globe. Why? Because that supposed rotation, which you could designate as ether rotation, not that I necessarily go with that, but I mean the rotation, yeah, it doesn't match globe Earth motion. Because
Oh, wait,
it's
but it does, and
can
you're
I
just
finish
saying
my
that.
frickin' sentence?
It's-
Can I
well,
finish
yeah,
my
I thought you were
frickin'
finished.
sentence?
I thought you were finished.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
wasn't. Yeah. So that rotation is not in relation to the axis of presupposed spinning ball Earth. It's 90 degrees to the ground everywhere. Yeah, that's the rotation. That's the deviation. Yeah. It's not.
Yeah, but the
It's not a
instrument- okay,
rotation in
alright. Oh, you're
relation
still
to
not through.
globe Earth. Yeah, which is what you would need to prove anything. Yeah, it's always
instrument
perpendicular to the ground wherever you are,
Okay.
and that doesn't match Earth
You just keep
rotation.
going.
Yeah, I keep going because I wasn't done yet. Yeah? If
Are
you
you
want
done
to
yet?
prove the Earth is rotating through any kind of gyroscope, well, then the gyroscope will have to alter its axis based on its relation to presupposed sphere Earth rotating. It doesn't do that. Any deviation that happens, especially in a ring laser gyro, is going to be perpendicular to the ground everywhere, and that doesn't make any sense if you want it to prove Earth rotation. Yeah, unless your claim is we're a flat plane and it rotates around its center. Yeah,
Okay, are
that's
you
what
through
you're
yet?
proving with it then.
Are you through now?
Yeah, now I'm through. Yeah.
Okay, it is the instrument itself that moves, that registers the frame shift. It's the instrument moving. It's nothing else causes it.
Yeah.
Nothing else in the sky causes
I
it.
know.
It is the instrument moving that causes the frame shift.
Yeah, perpendicular to the ground everywhere.
So, like, you know, we're still at the same point in the conversation we were 3 minutes ago. How can you demonstrate or prove, or how do you know that it's the Earth and the instrument that are moving and not something else? Right?
Have you got a
you're
suggestion?
claiming this, but do you have any exclusive or mutually exclusive evidence of that claim that can demonstrate it actually, in fact, is the Earth moving and not something else?
Well, can you demonstrate something else causing it?
So I asked you if you can demonstrate that it's that, and you pivoted to ask me if I can demonstrate it's something else.
Yeah, we
you
have
put
to
it
prove
on-
it.
you
We
put
have
it
to
on
prove it,
Lazy
right?
Susan.
So
You can put it on
your
a tabletop.
answer is that you can, right?
You can put it on a tabletop on a Lazy Susan and rotate it, and it'll show it. You can do it right in front of you on the table. It's easy to do.
Cool. Well, congratulations.
Okay,
You
how does
proved
that
that
demonstrate
something
the Earth
is
is-
causing a ring laser gyroscope to rotate in a circle perpendicular to the Earth everywhere. Yeah, there's no difference in how it's going to rotate based on your position, your latitude. Yeah, if you are on a spinning ball Earth, that's exactly what it should be doing, and that's what you require in order to use it as evidence of a spinning ball Earth. Yeah, but it doesn't do that. It's always perpendicular to the ground everywhere. So
Yeah.
all you then effectively prove is that the Earth is flat and spinning around a center. And it doesn't make any damn sense. You're not even, that's not what you actually are trying to prove, but that's all you can ever prove with it.
You're going too long, Arwen. This is a
It's
combo.
going too
It's not
long.
an
Yeah,
preaching
well, it's
session.
because it's a totally defeating argument for your claim. And you don't want to hear
Why is
it.
it built? What is the purpose of the instrument? Why is the instrument even built?
For a gyroscopic orientation. Yeah, to know what your orientation is. And there is a standard deviation
It detects
procedure that does
rotation.
happen. Yeah?
It detects rotation.
Yeah, so we agree it detects rotation. You're not progressing the conversation forward at all. You're just repeating the same thing over and over without actually moving the conversation forward. How
Tell
can
me
you
what
prove
else
it's
causes
Earth?
it to? What else causes it? Give me a suggestion.
Anything else,
Okay.
not Earth spin. Yeah?
Once again,
If you want to know what
Again,
it causes, it's your
There
problem.
it is. Anything but Earth spin. Anything but Earth spin.
Yeah, because it doesn't match Earth spin. Because it doesn't change its angle of rotation and
it
deviation
does.
based on your latitude. It's always perpendicular to Earth.
'em. 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 'em.
Yeah, so it's definitely the ether that's doing it. Just to be clear, it's not the Earth.
Whatever
Demonstrate
it
that.
is, it's not Earth spin. It's not
Yeah,
a sphere
so
Earth.
there's the preponderance of evidence that demonstrates it can't possibly, no matter what anyone ever wants it to be, ever be Earth, because if it was Earth, then not only would it show up in the ring laser gyroscopes, it would show up in the Michelson-Morley interferometers, and it would show up in Ares telescope. It doesn't show up in 2 of the 3, it only shows up in 1.
Yeah.
So therefore, it can't be
That's
Earth.
orbit. You're talking about orbit. We're
It
talking about
doesn't
rotation.
No, we're not talking. He's not talking about orbit.
Let's go down to a tabletop scale experiment, because physics scales, and we know this. So we'll talk in layman's terms. The reason in a Sagnac interferometer, and the ring laser does the same thing, it's just the device is stationary, whereas in Sagnac his device is moving. Either way, it does the same thing, relative motion, right? So when you have a device like a Sagnac interferometer, and it's sitting there, and it's got a certain phase shift, or a certain fringe pattern, I mean, and then you rotate the device, the fringe pattern changes. Now, in layman's terms, the reason that it produces a phase shift is because in the time that the light was on its way to the receiver moved away from it, and it created a change in path length. Everyone agrees on this. That literally is the cause. Okay, we understand. Now, since the cause is the fact that while the light was on the way, the receiver moved away from the light, it doesn't matter whether that receiver moved in a path that was like ever so slightly arced or a path that was straight. Either way, while the light's on the way, if the receiver moves, the path length changes. It doesn't matter if it moves in a straight line or if it moves in an arc that's like a couple millimeters off from straight. It's a millimeter or 2 away from being perfectly straight. It's still the same difference. You have the receiver moving while the light's on its way. That's the reason it's produced. Now, if you take this simple logic and you analyze Sagnac and you analyze Michelson-Morley, you will very quickly understand that if the device is moving while the light's on its way, a fringe shift will get produced. Guess what didn't happen in Michelson-Morley, though? Right, your side says, oh, there was no fringe shift that like we expected there to be. That shows you that while the light was on its way, the device did not move.
Right.
That means Earth is not moving. It's very simple.
Right, so there's
Einstein
something
came
else
along
going
and tried
on.
to say the very fabric of reality and the dimension in which we live itself bent and warped in order to trick you so that you would believe that actually the device itself shrank by the exact amount that it moved so it would match up to 0 and you would never be able to measure it. The universe is conspiring.
Huh.
But then Sagnac said, well, when I take my table and I move my table, it works. So who's telling the truth here? Clearly not the gay Jew.
Okay,
Earth
there's
is
no
not
need.
moving.
No need. But I mean, it's obvious that this apparent deviation that does happen is not due to a ball Earth rotation, because the way it would be deviating would then be in lockstep with how the orientation to the axis of spinning ball Earth is. And it isn't. It's always perpendicular to the ground everywhere. There's no angle difference in how it starts to deviate. And so the entire purpose of using it as an evidence for Earth spin is
Arwen, that's not
completely
actually
nullified.
true. In order to get it does change the magnitude. In order to get the full magnitude of fringe shift, you have to align the axis with your latitude. So like if you're at,
What?
23 degrees north, you have to align your axis, your z-axis accordingly in order to get the full 15 degrees per hour. Otherwise, if you align it vertically, you won't get 15 degrees per hour everywhere.
Okay.
It's due
Never heard
to
of that.
the geometry of Earth's toroidal magnetic field. Right?
Okay.
There's a flip zone at the equator. That's the 0 point. You have the maximum vertical pole at the North Pole, and it curls around at the edges. It produces the same thing that you see in the gyroscope.
No, but that still
But
doesn't make
you
any
could-
sense, though. Because, I mean, it wouldn't do that. It would not, like... That doesn't make any sense. what you just said.
It's because of the ether rotation, bro.
Yeah, that whatever. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense that it would do that. It would do what, do to whatever.
I'm trying to explain it to you. If you keep screaming, it doesn't make sense. You're never going to understand.
Oh, okay.
So you have the ether is rotating, right? You have an ether field that's rotating. Overall, it's going east to west around the Earth. However, it has an inclination. At various latitudes, the inclination is different. It's latitude dependent due to the toroidal geometry of Earth's magnetic field. So the way that this ether wind blows is inclined based on your distance north-south of the equator and of the North Pole. That's why, in order to get the full 15 degree per hour friend shift, you have to orient the z-axis of your instrument to the latitude degrees of your latitude, and then you'll get the full, because it's perfectly parallel with the direction at which the ether wind is blowing.
Okay, well, fine, whatever. Ether wind, yeah, it doesn't prove Earth rotation, also because a mechanical gyroscope doesn't follow the same patterns. It doesn't deviate. When you keep it in its place, it's not going to change its axis angle, and when you move it around, it will adapt to stay at the same axis orientation wherever you are, and it will stay the same over time, right? That's a mechanical gyroscope. It only responds to orientations, not ether, wind, or whatever supposedly is going to influence it. And so, yeah, mechanical gyroscope, no deviation. Ring laser gyroscope, some kind of deviation. Now, whatever causes that, that's cool. But if it would be caused by Earth spinning, well, then it would also happen to the mechanical gyroscope, and it doesn't. And that is really the definitive evidence that it doesn't prove Earth rotation. Because if it would, then a mechanical gyroscope would do exactly the same, and it doesn't.
But you're getting way too deep in these gyroscope arguments. You're getting away from like the main point, and they're just going to try to use this as an avenue to attack gyroscopes and talk about gyroscopes for an hour when it's already self-defeating at the premise of, hey, look, there's this rotation being detected, but there's not any other motion being detected. Nothing in the Airy experiment, nothing in the Michelson-Morley experiment. 2 of the 3 experiments failed to detect any motion. The only one you detected was rotation, and you want to claim that that's proof of Earth motion, but the other ones aren't.
Right.
It's literally a double standard of special pleading. Definitionally, it's self-defeating.
Right, so let's just stick to disproving it being proof of Earth spinning and not draw ether into it, because, I mean, that has its own problems, so especially scientifically, and that's an entirely different discussion. Not necessarily useful to bring that in, right? It merely distracts away from the fact that ring laser gyroscope deviation is provably not caused by presupposed sphere Earth spin.
Well, it either has to be Earth rotation or ether. There's no third option. Like, there's a
no,
cause.
yeah, or we just don't know. Yeah, it's very simple. But
Yeah,
what we
that's a
do
very
know,
good
it's not
point.
caused by Earth rotation, and that should suffice to diffuse the argument, which is what we're doing, right?
Yeah, so respectfully, I don't believe it's Earth rotation, but I understand how they make that argument when they isolate just the device by itself in one context of an argument. They don't look at any other evidence.
Yeah, well,
or any
that's
other
cherry
preponderance of
picking.
evidence.
That's cherry picking. You can't just isolate it.
I agree, and that's what they do. But my point is that if you just only look at it by itself and don't consider any other evidence in the outside world whatsoever, and just look at the device and say, hey, this is what we would expect on a globe for a ring laser gyro being latitude dependent in the magnitude of its phase change, they would say that it makes sense.
Yeah, of course. If you cherry pick and you ignore things that totally undoes that notion, then you can pick anything to prove anything.
So you need to look at the preponderance of evidence to disprove their notion that it's Earth that's rotating.
Correct.
If you just analyze it by itself, it becomes a valid explanation because you don't look at anything else that contradicts it.
Right, and when you ignore contradicting information that is relevant to the claim, then you are effectively cherry picking the argument.
Yeah, but you were saying that let's only disprove the part about how they think it's Earth rotating, and I said you can't do that unless you bring the other evidence into the discussion.
Yes. I didn't say to exclude anything. I just said let's not try to prove what causes it with the ring laser gyro, because then you have to prove ether, and it just kind of takes the entire conversation in a different direction, away from them having to prove their claim. And now you're forced to prove a claim. They could get a win on that because it's really elusive. I mean, it's all just patterns. The ether assumption,
So,
it's a pattern.
I
You can't
encourage
actually
you
prove that,
guys-
so that defeats the purpose. Just go for the win. Just disprove their claim and stick to that. And if you want to talk about ether after that, sure, but don't tie it into the argument, because it'll just help them distract away from their original claim and make it about your claim.
Okay, I got you. But I encourage you and everybody. Dr. Mike, when he first came in here, before he ever did the celestial theodolite thing, he actually had a presentation right before that, and I think at the time it went over a lot of people's heads. I went back and watched some of it. I haven't finished the whole thing, but what I did look at, I analyzed, and it's actually very profound. Like, I don't know where this man came from, or where he got his ideas from, or who he knows or what he knows, but he very clearly is demonstrating some very profound stuff. So he has a book.
Okay.
He did a presentation that was like a summary of what was in his book. It's on Space Audit's YouTube. But anyway, Dr. Mike presented his like ether dynamical explanation of basically the fundamental constants of the universe.
Okay.
Down to like between 8 and 12 decimal point values, and they all agreed with what the NIST values were, except to like the last 11, like 9 through 12 decimal points. He showed how they were actually a little bit off, and he didn't have to use any kind of like crazy G factor measurements or anything like that, where they have like measurement precision or imprecision, etc. He literally used the energy of the base orbital of he used the base energy of an electron, the radius of a proton,
What?
and like one or two other things. And then he, instead of using the universal gravitational constant big G, Gm of mass of Earth, and big G of big G, he used the gravitational parameter, G, which is Gm, but he put it in different units. It's also equivalent to the units V squared R. So Gm has the same units as V squared R. And so doing everything in terms of V squared R, he used that. He said if you use this on the scale of the proton, you come up with all the fundamental constants of electromagnetism. And if you use this for, I forget which planet he used it for, maybe it was the sun or maybe it was a moon, I forget what the base scale was. But he's like, if you use it for that, you get the Keplerian orbits of everything in our solar system.
What?
And then also, you can use it to show the, along with the magnetic permeability and electric permittivity of free space, for all the properties of the ether.
Okay,
And then that
okay, I
can
get
determine
it.
how ether pressure at altitude determines satellite orbits. It's
Yeah.
actually insane, and he shows all the math for it.
Cool. Well,
So if you, like,
there's all a
don't
bunch
believe
of
in
correlations,
ether, I
though.
think you
None
should
of
go
it
check out
actually
that
proves anything.
presentation. Hold on. If you don't believe in ether, you're just saying that doesn't prove anything. You haven't even
It's
looked
not
at it. I
about
just told
belief,
you-
it's about that there's no way to scientifically validate it. Through experimentation, you can't very manipulate it. It's all a correlatory
It has
patterns,
already
and it's very
been done,
distinct, and
brother.
it
You
seems to
just-
trigger you
dude.
because you don't want to let me finish.
It's already been done.
Yeah, sure it is.
You literally interrupted me. But okay, we can have a
Because
discussion.
you kept
bro, but I'm
rambling for
telling you,
5
just
minutes
keep-
straight.
Dude, you just keep interjecting and saying it's not provable, it doesn't prove anything, it can't be proven. Bro,
Yeah.
I can show you the evidence of it. You may not want to accept it. You can have a different interpretation. That's fine. But there
No,
are
I have scientific
experiments
standards.
that necessitate an ether. There's anisotropy in the speed of light east-west on Earth. We can send microwave radio signals back and forth between transmission towers and get differential arrival times depending on which direction we send it.
Cool.
A to B or B to A.
That's really cool. Well, you're not varying and manipulating it in order to prove that there is an ether, because you can't vary and manipulate ether. It's a background setting. You can analyze the background setting. You can be able to predict how things happen due to it. Doesn't prove what it is. And it doesn't prove it's a naturally occurring phenomenon. Right? Because you can't vary and manipulate it. You're not varying and manipulating anything. You're just taking your distance and you're analyzing what happens at different locations.
Okay, we can. I'm telling you that we can. Are you gonna like pause so that you can say, "Okay, show me," or "How can we do it?" Like,
no, I don't need you to show me, dude. I've already had this discussion like hundreds of times in the last 8 years.
You already think you
it's
know
never
everything, and
changed.
when someone offers to bring you new information, you don't want to hear it.
There is no
So
new
that's
information. You've said
So you're
nothing
being
new.
religious, Arwen.
You've said nothing new about it to me.
I just said, let me tell you, and you just won't shut up. You see how you're being religious about your beliefs?
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Okay, yeah. Where's the mod?
Mute. Yeah, I'm in the live show, and I don't want to hear your ether waffling. Yeah?
It's the Arwen show. He's running the show right now.
Yeah.
It's his show.
So it's really cool. I'm not going to hear out your supposed ether evidence. I'm not going to subject my audience to all that bullshit. So you're on mute. You'll just have to wait. I mean, everybody else can hear you in the room, just not me, because I don't want that on my stream. I don't want this whining. Yeah, I've been hearing out ether people for years. It's never changed. It's always the same. It's all these correlations. It's really cool. And I agree, it's really fascinating. It's really fascinating what goes on. You can't scientifically prove ether, and even when you go to the nitty-gritty to really define it, it's literally, outspokenly unprovable. It's like
Ladies
counter
and gentlemen,
space.
episode 25,000 of the Arwen show.
What? Sorry?
Hey, Arwen, Jesus Christ is Lord is asking if you could unmute him if you muted him.
If he's gonna stop talking about ether, yeah, sure. Will he? If he won't, and you guys insist you want to continue the discussion, I could just
You're
leave.
talking all over him. Unmute him so you can have the conversation, or just stop.
Is he still talking about ether?
Yep.
Okay, well then I'm not gonna unmute him.
Well, you're off then. We can have the conversation if you'd like, Jesus.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the ending of the Arwen show, episode number 25,000.
Yeah, you don't
Jesus
need to
Christ
tell
is
me.
Lord is
I'm
going
just
to
gonna
take over.
move to another room where they're not gonna do this, so I'll see you guys later.
That's so wild, bro. Imagine, like, there's no evidence! Okay.
Shut the fuck up! What a wanker.
It said some guy invented a machine to see reptiles, and when he went out in the woods, and he like bombed himself or something. Did you hear about that? So now they're trying to go after conspiracy people and say that there's all something wrong with anybody with a conspiracy because they might want to bomb you, and or not you but themselves or some weird shit. Like, I was like, what? And they were like, was the guy a threat to anybody? They said no. He told everybody to leave the area. He don't want to hurt nobody. So I was like, okay, so that should take that off the list. But he wanted to hurt other people or some stuff.
Hello guys. Just popped by live with the Flat Earth Early Bird 2500. I tried Earth Awakenings, but there was this whining bitch he wouldn't shut up about ether, and just it was getting annoying, so I thought I'd try it here. What's going on?
What up, Arwen?
Welcome.
Hope I'm not
What am I?
interrupting something.
Oh, I think I'm willing to talk about what Dee just said. Talk about bombing yourself. I mean, society doesn't want you to hurt yourself because they want you working for it. You know, they want to make sure you don't leave no illegitimate children behind. You cannot hurt yourself. Society will not allow it. But that's an interesting story, Demont. We'll be setting up some more bullshit.
Dude, your mic is muffled. Are you like out in the wind or something?
I'm always in the wind, Arwen. It's always a problem with my mic.
Okay.
I don't know what to do.
Well, go stand in the place that's out of the wind. But maybe you don't have that opportunity right now.
I think it's just my earpiece. I don't know.
Okay, it's better.
Demo, it's normal for people to be scared of someone with crazy ideas. Like if you stood in the street and said, the end is nigh, Earth is flat, the normies nowadays would think he might just bomb himself. He's that crazy. So that just comes with the territory.
Well, there's not a lot of people that are like offing themselves that are into flat Earth, so that's a wild misconception.
Yeah, I'm saying they use it to weaponize, but it's also...
No, it's social degradation. It's like a stigma, like, oh, you're into that, well, then you're a troubled individual, but they don't think that you off yourself. Because that rarely happens. People that get into flat Earth rarely do that. Yeah, they have struggle, they lose friendships, they might have social interaction issues, they might isolate themselves, but they don't end up offing themselves. Like, ever. Never heard of that. I've heard of flat earthers dying, but not of offing themselves. I've never heard of one.
Yeah. That'd be Globers realizing.
Sorry?
Globers realizing it's a terrarium. There's your suicides.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't want to shove that in anybody's shoes here, but I mean, yeah, Globers are actually way more inclined to be suicidal. Also because of the spiritual existential consequences of their worldview, because it has no consequences. There's no moral foundation.
Do you have a citation for that Globers are more likely to be suicidal?
Yeah, because they're more rooted into atheism, and atheism doesn't give a shit about that sort of thing.
Do you have a citation for that?
No.
Well, there's a better citation. So far since 2014, all the flat earthers that have died of natural causes.
That's right.
And well, can't say the same for the other side.
That's right.
How do you possibly know that all the flat earthers have died from, like, how do you know? There's no record of...
Yeah, there is.
I mean, look,
yeah, it gets in the news, and then it's like, yeah, they died of natural causes, not suicide. If they died of suicide, we'd know, because they would love to share that with everybody, because it would confirm everybody's bias about it.
When you say flat earthers, do you mean people that believe in the Earth being flat, or do you mean
that are openly outspoken about it?
Notoriety on YouTube?
That are openly outspoken about it.
Sorry, Aaron, you interrupted me.
I can mute you. Yeah, I didn't want you here. I didn't want you here, Buck. You're doing it again. You're getting in my business again.
He's like your number one fan, Arwen. He's like he wants to be on your show.
Yeah, well, now he's my number one fan on mute. Yeah?
No.
You don't come in a panel that I'm literally live streaming and then tell me to
just
cite.
do me a favor, please.
What?
Don't mute locally. Mute in this channel. Mute the person themselves.
Oh, okay.
Buck already knows he's not supposed to be here interrupting whatever you're trying to do.
Thank you.
He already knows that. That he's here to harass you.
I forgot I had moderator powers. Sorry.
Right.
I just had to do that with.
They know what they're doing.
I know.
Gently.
He was following me around. He was just at Earth Awakenings. I left, and guess who immediately popped up when I got in
But
here?
you made a fair point calmly. You let him make a point. You clipped him right at the end. That was it. If you
It doesn't matter. Dawn, please stop.
Arwen clipped Buck. Whatever. What are you talking? I want to hear this. What up?
Okay, hold on. You're just a nuisance.
Take it easy.
Look, Arwen is trying to avoid this man. He keeps following him around. I've already noticed it. I've already told Buck to leave him alone when he's here on the show. First thing he does is take over as if we care about what he has to offer. That's not what we're doing right now, Buck.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm not here to provide citations.
Okay? And that's just how it is. I want just get the feel of the room before you come in with your own whatever you're all charged up about. Okay?
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, Don, but you weren't really helping right there. I'm gonna unmute you now.
Yeah. I mean, I've Buck's been around and then just not be meddlesome, that's fine with me. But if he's like gonna like butt in and then say, could you have a citation for that? I'm gonna tell you to go fuck yourself, Buck. Yeah, I'm not here to provide you with frickin' evidence or citations or anything.
Oh, you don't have to address him anymore. You can just address the point. So
Yeah, he's an interesting topic.
Reset the point,
right?
Arwin, because I lost it.
Because most of the suicides are normally not even people dealing with Earth; they're dealing with problems.
Right.
But there are suicides on the back end on Glober's side that nobody talks about because, well, it's classified information.
What are you talking about?
okay, Cuddles did the Cuddles thing again.
Yeah.
I have a question for you, Arwen.
No, not hold on.
We'll get to
Bullshit.
the point. More often, please. More often.
Who do you think's trying to escape the most, bro?
Elon Musk.
Right.
Rich.
The point
psychopaths
is
trying to escape.
The point is that I've heard of a lot of flat earthers, and those are the people that are open about it, outspoken, that like have channels. Some of them died, like Rob Skiba or Steven, a guy that I knew.
Parhar.
But none of them like ever had like there was no suicide involved. I've never heard of that, like not one time. Right? But I mean,
Yeah, I don't
with
think I have.
Globers, you don't really hear of it, but it seems logical with some of the mental strains that they deal with their cognitive dissonance, going after the flat earther. I'd see them being way more inclined to do it. That's not evidence.
I've never
but
heard this opinion before, but I think you're right. I think one of the side effects of flat Earth is that you have a far less propensity to off yourself, and there could be some deeper psychological thing going on there. Obviously, would be a consequence of the worldview, right?
Well, and also the being closer to real solid evidence of a god and the consequences that come with it. Well, the globe has an open option. Like you can believe in God and in the globe, right? It's like allowed, but it's not necessary. It's not integral to the worldview, right? So it's like an option then. For me, God is not an option. It's the ontological privative. It's inevitable. You have to face the truth that it is there, and doesn't mean that you can fill in all the blanks on how it is there, but it has to be there. There's no other way that reality can exist. So having that in mind, well, I take closer to heart that suicide is a really terrible sin. Beside through cognitive processes figuring that out in relation to what's biblically said, intuitive, it also says that. It's like I have an intuitive great fear of it, and like it's damning on an intuitive level. And so all these things combined, and my knowledge of the earth being flat, and therefore also intricately tied in, there has to be a designer, a god that made it all the way it is, that has come to lead to this point. Like suicide is like the gravest imaginable sin, basically. And so yeah, like it would be more preferable to suffer through a miserable, slowly declining, deadly experience than to actually choose some kind of suicide. And yeah, so being a flat earther like really enhanced that further. And it didn't in the past. In the past, before all this, I would, like, when I got desperate or depressed, I would be like, maybe I could just step out of it. Now there's just no consideration of that whatsoever. Not even close. So I can relate to it in a personal way. And see, like, after Flat Earth, after I really figured out, it got to like a very remote option that I would never really want to entertain to an absolute impossibility. That's how Flat Earth changed that perspective. Right. So, like to keep it to that with this subject.
I have a question. I don't know who would be the best to answer this, but I've come into an issue where, like, if you're a person who has, let's say you have privileged or extra information. And you know that you're not going to be able to convince anybody about that information. Like, it's just not happening. No one's going to accept what you've discovered or found out. And so you're just, you're roaming around life with knowing something that you're not going to be able to convey to anybody. What does that person do? Do they promote the least evil at that point?
No, they stay out of it until they find an opportunity to be able to finally share it.
What does that mean, that they're anti-American?
No, it usually means that they're completely neutral, not involved.
Completely neutral. Right, like if anything, I'm beating myself up for not being capable of conveying the importance of whatever I've discovered and helping the world come to better conclusions. If anything, I'm beating myself up internally.
Well, that's a shame, because, I mean, there's nothing you can do. Everybody needs to go through processes until that opportunity opens up in them, so they can be susceptible to that sort of information in that direction.
Receptive.
Yeah, receptive. Yeah, that's the word.
Yes, I agree. But like, if you tell somebody like some extremely learned opinion that you know is a fact, 100%. If you tell someone that extremely learned opinion, they may not have the capacity to actually digest that information. It may be like giving a baby a shotgun.
Well,
right? Like,
yeah, I get what you. That's a very unfortunate. I would say you don't have the foundation that fits those building blocks. The building blocks you're getting handed do not fit on the foundation that you have. So it'll just fall over. You can see that, so you're not even going to attempt to try to construct something with it, because the foundation will not support it, and you can immediately see that from the get-go. It's like the information frequency doesn't match, so it can't stick. So even if you try to hear it out, it'll like slip away from you much quicker. This is what happens to ballers all the time, by the way. We tell them very detailed things, very meticulous, very careful, very peaceful. And at the end of it, if they don't interrupt us, like, they just prove that they heard maybe a quarter of it, got hung up on certain trigger words, and they just didn't hear the rest. Why? Because it can't sink in. It doesn't match their foundation. The puzzle piece won't fit. It won't fit.
Put the blocks.
Right. It's like a puzzle piece, and it won't fit. It can't be made to fit. This is information compatibility. It's also like canon. It's story canons, right? One story is not going to fit another story. Like biblical stories and Greek mythology, they don't fit together. You can find correlations and pattern systems like, oh, this is kind of similar to that. But if you like appeal to a specific like a thing in Greek mythology and then say, I'm going to fit this in the Bible, it won't fit. It just won't, because it's not compatible. And that works with a lot of information, and it works too with, well, flat earth lore and information and insights and globe view of the world. You can't make it fit. It won't fit. And so it'll just slip by and be forgotten until the foundation is updated and the person suddenly gains room to build a proper foundation when they learn to compartmentalize, right? It's like, okay, you have the globe lore, and now I am going to be open and learn the flat earth lore, even if that competes and contradicts the other thing. I'm just going to see them now both as stories. Not one is absolutely true, but just both are stories, and I'm just going to build them up. Well, then you can suddenly listen to flat earth information and really get it. And then you put those pieces onto that canon of the flat earth lore separate from the globe. But I mean, most globers can't do that because they're emotionally invested. They religiously see the globe reality as the absolute foundational reality that cannot be questioned, really. Not really. So if something does that, then it will be perceived as hostile and discard it. Anyway, sorry for rambling on. But information compatibility is really important. People often don't understand, and then you end up in polarized camps where it's misunderstanding. He's not listening. He's just stupid. Why doesn't he get it? Well, a person would only say, why doesn't he get it? Because he doesn't understand the framework of the mind of the other person. And because if you did, then you would understand why they don't understand. You see? Mm-hmm. And then you can escape the polarized setting where you're just going to attack each other without result. Then you can find the neutral ground.
For example, I am technically not a Christian, but I, through the wisdom I've learned in a very complicated way, I don't know that I can rectify that. But I know that somebody in another position can reap the benefits of a Christian worldview, and yes. I would absolutely promote Christianity for them.
Right, you wouldn't attack
the good
them.
Parts of Christianity, and I would not attack them. I would promote it, and I'd say, you know what, look into this. This might help you along your way, and I would promote that absolutely. But for me personally, without my ability to explain entirely my reasoning to be on the fence or something, then it makes me look like a hypocrite. Well, why would you promote Christianity if you're not a Christian? Well, it's because I can't download my understanding to your head. You know, it's not something that it's like some things are just too complex.
Well, you have other information, and you don't wish to tie the core foundational ideas of Christianity to your heart, where you literally choose to discard information that would contradict it, which is what real serious Christians do. Basically fanatics that truly believe it, and they get offended when you try to do that. You're not doing it, I'm not doing it either, because I see Christianity like as a lore. It's a cultural lore, and it contains like really, really core important wisdom, and I respect it for that. Like, I revere Christianity, but I also know that in ways it's kind of delusional, and it has problems, and it actually contradicts the champion of it, Jesus Christ. Like, he warned about things that Christians do systemically because it's baked in, and they can't really reconcile with that. So it has problems. I'm not a Christian, but I definitely respect the wisdom of Jesus, right? And I appreciate Christians for their lore, for their how they can deal with the Bible, how they can like cough up like these references, these verses that are really powerful, right? But they're not powerful to me because I know it is the truth and it's all exactly like that, and you have to discard everything in favor of that. No, it's because of the practical utility of the wisdom that is in it. And that's why I really respect it, and that's why I like to hang around Christians.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm in a position where I'm very troubled because I'm like I'm like 2 or 3 levels deep on some things I know to be true that totally annihilate the prospect of me like going back in my opinion. Like I don't think I could ever support the government or a military or some kind of agenda. Not to say that they don't, not to say that they're not true or whatever. I just don't think I ever could. And I think most of the problems, as I said earlier today, they can be solved by fixing a broken home, and having proper fathering, and being focused on your local community. Like right. most of the systemic issues
due to cultural destabilization
stem from there.
Yeah, it's cultural destabilization.
So address that.
It's up to less
that we have to worry about the external.
Right, because it's the internal and cultural destabilization, the unraveling of it, that has basically taken away like stabilizing influences that was made us all able to deal with everything better. So we're coping with more stress, which then derails everything more and basically causes destabilization overall. and more depression and more desperation and more tendency towards demonic behavior because the stress levels are higher, right? Yeah, it's a problem, and really, as you said, the only real way to fix it is to fix yourself, right? You can't help the world unless you help yourself. But in order to help yourself, you have to know what's wrong and then do it right. Even if the entire world doesn't do it right, you have to do it, and then eventually you have to trust that by just doing it right, you will inspire others by example to also do it right, and then the world will do it right. But you have to give the example on how to do it and that it's worth it and that it can work. You have to give people hope in it, and then they will follow you.
Yeah, you inspire people because of your course of action and then the fruit that it offers. Like, people see that,
yeah,
they resonate with it, and that's how you make real change. It's not by convincing people, by inspiring them.
Yeah, by showing them that it can work, that doing it will not lead to disaster, that they're not that they're gaining things that are kind of invisible when you haven't done them yet, and by doing it and showing it, they can see that energy. They can see that energy arriving. They can see, like, whoa, that person changed because he did this. He wasn't like this before. So they have like empirical spiritual evidence of a result that if they didn't have an example, they wouldn't have, and they wouldn't know until they did it, but they probably wouldn't because they didn't think it would give that result. So by setting an example, you can show people that it's worth it. And that's really the way to change the world. Literally by changing yourself. And I literally laid it out now, how that actually chains up. How it actually really works. Not just symbolically, but literally. By doing it yourself, you literally can change the world by setting an example, and that will practically draw in other people to try to do it too, because now they can see that it can actually work. Pretty awesome. I guess also like what Owen Benjamin has done a lot. He's really done that homesteading thing, home farming, and he's really gone for that with all the struggles and all the backlash from the outside, the scoffing, the nonsense. But he's like really done that, and he has built like this example that has high energy and like it works. There's tons of people that follow him that have gone and done the same thing, that have started families, that have started homesteads, that if he hadn't set that example, they wouldn't have gone and done it because they didn't think it would be possible, that it wouldn't work out. He showed them how it can work out. So yeah, it's just a good example.
Well, Bear, for example, he's created a livelihood out of it, and he's kind of like, he's disabled. He's not able to meet and associate with a lot of people. And through this, he's been able to completely revitalize his position in this life, made a business,
take some control,
with a lot of people. And he gives away onesies to like new parents, and he's promoting community, promoting family, have babies, And this is this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Like, if people just spent all of their time focused on solving the problems of the home, I would think the interest of going to war would probably be diminished, to be honest.
People wouldn't even realize it's going on, right? Because if you just fix your home,
signing up for war would be hard to muster up. Like, they'd be too busy handling business.
Right, exactly. If you just fix things at home, you're not going to be having like need for escapism, which is what makes you look outside, and then you get to see the things that are getting presented that's going to try to lure you in, like war or worrying about things, right? So if you just focus mostly on home and fix that, you're not gonna even really take notice of all the friction outside because you're not in need of escapism that forces you to look outside of your home and then get caught up in these schemes, basically cultural schemes, top down. Yeah, fix yourself, and like all those problems will literally melt away because they will mean less to you. They will do less to you because you're more stable.
Yeah.
It's amazing how that really works. And it's so simple, but yet such a challenge to actually do, though. Right? Knowing is one thing, actually doing it is a bit more challenging. It's like a threshold thing. You have to actually take the step. It's more about intuition and not so much about knowing. It's more about trusting and about just going over the threshold, allowing yourself to tread outside of your comfort zone into the unknown. And that's very difficult for a lot of people, including myself. Like, I really hate getting out of my comfort zone. I really do. But I mean, more than usual, more than the average. That's why I'm such a I have a very monotonous life. But I like it, you see. I actually like it. I don't go crazy like other people when they would be in my position. Like, to me, I find monotonous life stabilizing. I find it psychologically stabilizing. It gives me room to have more clear thought. While with other people, if their life is too monotonous, they literally just get restless and they just like start breaking shit. Or suddenly like, I'm out of here. I'm gonna do something completely different. I don't have that. I don't have that in me. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it is the way it is, so I just work like this. But yeah, it does make it more challenging to actually apply life changes because I just have a natural tendency to just always do the same things. And yeah, when you always do the same things, there's not a lot of change that is gonna arrive automatically. Right. But it will provide 2,500 live shows though. That's one thing it will do. And there's a lot of people that won't make that number with projects like these, like the Early Bird Show. Very little. How many people do you know that have like 2,500 live shows?
Not many.
I think Nathan Oakley is
Not
like
many.
one of the few that has gotten that number, or he's getting close to it like me. I think I outpaced him with the show numbers because he doesn't do shows every day. I do them every day, including the weekends. I have for a long time. But yeah, other than that, I don't know anybody. I've never come across anybody that's like social media, whatever, that has this many shows and still going. I don't know any. Right. Oh, Buck Saltbuster, thank you. Oh, great input. Thanks, Buck. I really needed to see in
Buck
chat
is,
that
really
I only
showing
have
his
3 or
colors
4
today, isn't
humans
he?
watching per show. Thank you. You're such a contributor. You add real value to my discussion here. Thanks.
Oh man, did I miss something?
I think you missed all the retarded Globers trying to interrupt. Because that's what we're doing today. Is that what we're doing today, Mord? We're calling people retarded? What's up?
Yeah, usually.
Yeah. Well, guess what? That's not really what we do here.
Aww. How does
Well,
the
maybe? How about this? Why don't you go to church and call everybody a retard? Because that's what Christians do, right?
What?
You know, maybe you can say it's not the most Christian behavior.
Well-
I'll accept the criticism.
Yeah. Well, guess what? Your book is a flat Earth book. So why don't you go to church and call everybody a retard?
Oh, okay. Yeah, but see, I go to the Orthodox Church, so
You're good, bro. Thank you for your participation.
That does not surprise me one bit. Orthodox Church does really accept the worst of the worst kind of gammas, don't they? Like, that's a weird. I mean, I have nothing against Orthodox Christianity, but for some reason they seem to be like scooping up a lot of like socially deranged people, like this. Have you noticed that?
You know, all you can do is pray for him, man.
Yeah, but it's so weird because like in the Catholic Church, these people get rejected. In the Protestant Church, they get rejected. It's like, you suck. get out of here. But with the Orthodox Church, they just, for some reason, now fit right in there. Or maybe they don't. Maybe it's like this weird online thing. It's just exclusively online people. They just start calling themselves Orthodox. They sort of follow it. But I mean, there's some real hardcore Orthodox real priests and all that, like in Russia and all. I don't think that those people really like individuals like this at all. They're like, yeah, they call themselves Orthodox, but I mean, they're just pretender clowns. They don't actually behave right.
Good morning, Roots. Merry Christmas. I don't know if I've seen you the last few days.
Hello.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year already, almost.
Getting close.
Yeah, 2 more days. We can finally leave this wretched year behind us. It's not been great for me this year. I really hope next year is going to be better. There are signs that it is, though. There are big signs of big positive changes. Like, for example, I read into like this news article, Geopolitics, that apparently the EU defense stocks, right? Because the EU has been trying to like create a war economy that's been widely known, right? They brag about it all the time. They want a war economy for 30 years. Well, apparently the defense stocks, which is like the investment stocks for that war effort, has been in a steep decline recently. And that is shocking because, I mean, once that starts happening, it's not going to bump back. So it seems like the entire war project of the EU and NATO has just completely failed. And now that the stocks are declining, that also means that they can't just keep gaslighting everybody and continue it. Because the money is literally disintegrating. That's going to back it. And that's great news. I mean, it's still going to suck for the economy, but at least it means that there's not going to be some prolonged, terrible, stupid war in which rich elites steal all the money and people die too. Which is what this was going to be. So yeah, things might change around, and once that's broken, that also means that the trials are going to engage. Because a lot of these people that are part of NATO, that are doing this sort of thing, they're all caught out with crimes. Like, they've already been like proven to be criminal in certain instances, and it's kind of been put on the long run because of the war situation, right? We got to put the war first, so this is all deprioritized. Well, if the war suddenly grinds to a halt, well, guess what's next on the block? Their heads. So that could be happening this year. And I can't wait. Because that would also come with the end on this insane crackdown on the farmers. With psychotic bureaucracy. Because that's doing real damage here. Like, it really hurts. It creates a greater rift between the government and the actual people. We've gone from not really trusting them to completely distrusting them, and now it's like really becoming hate. Like vivid hatred. If that grows any worse, like there could be serious civil unrest. Like actual riots not from trashy people looking for an excuse to create a riot, but from the people really being done with it. And that would do a lot of damage, but if now the EU defense stocks are declining, well, that means that it could abruptly end very quick, and that's a good sign, and I'm gonna hold on to that good sign and pray that it'll come true. That this stupid top-down government corrupted plan is going to fumble and basically what do you call that? Fizzle into nothing. We can finally move on. Right, so that's a bit of geopolitical news.
Sorry, I don't have a lot of info about over the pond, so I'm kind of using you as a looking post.
That's cool. I appreciate that. I want to be kind of like, I want to be the geopolitical news guy. I do this
really?
on my show because I do because I don't elaborate too much, I don't get like involved in political narrative, but I do really try to keep track of big events, big changes, and try to predict them correctly. And like, for example, the silver market's going insane, and I've been saying that was going to happen for a while, also through trusted sources that say the same thing. And it's like, yeah, silver prices are going to get out of control high, like unseen before highs, like world record setting of all time. It's going to get so high, it's crazy. And I've been telling, like, dude, if you are like a stock investor kind of guy, freaking silver mines, solid silver, whatever, anything silver, do it.
Really?
Well, all those people that have done that have made 100% profit now, because it's gone up 100% in the course of like a year. And it's still going, and it's gonna go way higher, like unseen levels, all-time records. And it's like, this is not hype, this is fact.
For manipulation there? Like
No, it's no manipulation. No, it's been kept down forever. Like JP Morgan has been like creating false coupons of silver that basically doesn't exist, and that's how they artificially kept the silver price down for decades. Decades they've been doing it. I knew this in 2010. I invested in a bunch of silver back then, but unfortunately it never got broken. Well, it's now breaking. There's no more fixing this. It's gonna explode to just unseen records because, well, first off, there's claimed to be more silver around than there actually is, which is artificially been keeping the market down, and there's a lot of new technological developments that require silver, like new efficient batteries in an age of electronic cars, right? It's right now getting patented, and like the need for silver is going to industrially explode like never before in history. On top of that, there's basically a shortage, so it's like they can't contain it anymore. They can't keep it down. It's going to explode insane. It might explode to the level where it could theoretically surpass the gold price. Yes, I'm saying it. Could get that crazy. Not guaranteeing it, but it could go in that direction. Unheard of levels. Yeah, and it's now at 72. That's right. And it's never been there. Just saying it, right? When I was buying silver a decade ago, it was 25. Okay? 25.
Yeah.
Triple.
Well, how much silver do you have?
1 coin. Yeah, it sucks. I have nothing. I'm broke. I only have good advice.
Did you say silver 70 an ounce right now? $70?
72.
What? You're talking about 25? Man, I thought it's been $10 to $20 like every decade. Like, I swear I just looked at this a couple months ago. Wow. Arlen, you be on to that shit.
Yeah, I know I am. If only people would actually frickin' listen to me, then they could actually get something out of it. Because I can't. I wish I had something to invest. I would have invested everything into this. But I don't have anything. Right? And this is just the beginning, guys. It's not a joke. It's not hype. It's just the beginning. I could roughly wet finger work estimate that by the same time in December next year, silver could be at 150. It could also be at 300.
I guess I'm remembering it stagnated at like 20. It's been at 20, like, I guess it was higher in 2010, but even like for 10 years, it's been flat. And then since 2025, it's like almost tripled.
Yeah, because now they can't manipulate it down anymore. They've been heavily manipulating it down. Like with record-setting put options. Massive fiat market manipulation just to keep it down. Like, what is it called? Chase Bank? What is it again? Not Goldman Sachs, but Chase. Those banks. What's the full name? You know what I mean, right? Guys?
Are you talking about Morgan?
Yeah, Morgan Chase, right?
Morgan?
Yeah, Morgan Chase is like invested everything in like the last few decades just to keep the silver price down. That was their task. That was their global task, was to suppress the silver price. And they've invested enormous amounts of money just to keep that, just to make sure that silver would not go up. Manipulated, frauded, all to do that. And now, even with all that effort, they can't do that anymore. So the lid is off. Yeah? It's like the cork is out and the pressure is building, and it's gonna just go completely apeshit. This is just the start.
Can you walk me through it so I could get, without having to like ground it through myself? So like, I get how maybe they could do it, why they could do it. They would have to like have it and, you know, maybe sell it at a loss versus the.
They did it in two ways. They did
what
put options.
Like what's their goal? Okay.
To keep it down. To keep it down, because by keeping it down, it would make it seem like the dollar would be retaining value and not having a free fall, right? Because the rise of any metal, especially silver and gold, signifies the decline of the fiat currency value. That's what it is, and that's why they did it. They did it through put options and through, well, manipulation. Basically, yeah, selling silver on paper that doesn't actually exist, which is fraud. And they just did it. And they got away with it too. And they've been doing it for a very long time on a massive scale. And now, even with those schemes, it's not working anymore. It's just nothing. No manipulation on Earth can stop the explosion of the silver price now. Nothing can stop it.
And because there's actually a hard demand for it, or some of these options are getting called, but there's this ramped up in demand.
Yeah. Because the official demand is surpassing the supposed official amount, which is a false number because it's inflated artificially. There's not actually that much there. So when it's just gone crazy. Right, so that's happening. And I hope everybody pays attention to this.
We should have put $1 million in silver at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I mean, but even if you look at it now and you say like, oh, but it's already gone up so much. Dude, it's nothing. This is nothing. If you can invest it, then yeah, I normally don't give out financial advice, but fuck it. Why not? I'm giving you financial advice. Put everything in silver. It doesn't matter what the price is. Even if it was twice the price, I'd still put everything in it right now. Because there is no limit to how high it's going to go.
Right. Man, can you imagine having a free couple million for free? Just like, man, just hold it in the silver. At least just hold the money in there. You know, it ain't going to think like, oh, look, a free $2 million.
Yeah.
That would have been so cool.
Put it in there. Set a limit of 3 years. And there's a good chance in 3 years you're going to triple the value or maybe tenfold it. Or who knows, maybe even more. You can't tell. Right? It's gonna go crazy one way or the other. So yeah, that's what I would do. And hey, if you do that and you make a ton of profit, please send me a PayPal. Because I'm still gonna be starving. Or even better, send me a silver coin. Through the mail. Alright, so that concurs the financial
I am also
advice.
accepting silver coins, just so you know. If you guys want to send me silver coins, totally fine.
Cool.
Yeah, I got you guys. I got you.
How much is a silver coin worth these days?
Well, you got to be careful. You got to really be careful what you're going to buy because there's going to be a lot of markups, right? There's going to be extra value added in the sales. You don't want to waste too much money on it because like those people that sell it, they know it's going to explode and they're just trying to reap as much profit out of it. You really want to have it at wholesale prices, but it might be difficult to find, especially if you want it in coin form. Right? I mean, everybody likes the coins, but bullion might be better because you'll probably have less extra costs when you try to buy those. right? The rectangular blocks, small or bigger. Those would probably be the best way to get it at the lowest possible cost.
Otherwise, if you go into a junk silver store and ask for junk silver, you should pay a little over $1 for a dime.
Oh right, yeah, that works too. Yeah, junk silver.
And a little bit, and a little over $5, $5.50 to $6 for a quarter.
Yeah, just a bunch of old rusted silver coins, right? There's tons of those.
If you go in and they're asking $7, $8, they're trying to rip you off.
Yes. Right.
And I also accept silver via mail.
Hey, I was first. What is up? What is up with all these bulls in chat? Why?
To ride the bull, right? That's what you're saying. Buy the silver right now. Ride the bull. That's what it's called when you ride the stock.
Oh, okay. Right. Well, I mean, it's just if you're a stock guy. I'm not saying get into stock market because I wouldn't do that. I would literally buy the solid, like the actual stuff that I can hold in my hand, and that will give massive security too. But I mean, if you're a stock guy, yeah, you might want to divert some of your investments to silver because it's gonna go insane.
Yeah, but that's what the stock is. It's the transaction of the getting that physical price to get that physical silver. That's what it's the stock.
Sure.
That's what it's trading. That's what it's selling for.
But it depends on exactly what type of stock. I mean, you can buy stock in silver mining too, because there's going to be a lot of that. It's going to be an increasing business.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're investing in a company or the transaction of that.
Right.
So if you're saying if it's going to go more, if you want to go physical, yeah, but you're still to buy the physical. It's coming from I think it's like $92.
You're still riding the bull regardless.
Yeah,
an investment. Your personal investment can be riding the bull regardless if you're in the market.
Okay. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Keep talking.
Well, we're kind of investing in the electronic. Well, that's what we're saying, right? We're investing the electronics. That everyone's going to go electronic or the whole digital thing. I think smart cities. That's what we're talking about. We're heading to smart cities now.
Precious
So we're
metals
investing.
are used to make like all electronics. So just look at the precious metal market, and it's only going to go up unless they turn off the grid, which is their main source of control.
Right. That's the.
Which I don't think they're going to do.
Well, that's the concept of holding precious metal, holding the physical precious metals. But I think it's unlikely they're going to turn off the grid, or they're going to do this whole transitional thing, like you're saying. If they're going to transition to what's the theory? Internet 2.0.
I think they're gonna. I think they're gonna feign. They're gonna fake the idea of turning off the grid, but I think they're not gonna do it because it's literally the method of which they're keeping society deluded. Like that's what's keeping society under hypnosis. They need to keep the energy flowing. They need to keep the grid on. They need to keep the internet going, because it's how they're keeping everyone under control right now. So.
Yeah, I agree. If people didn't have their Netflix, they'd have nothing but time on their hands.
That's why you can buy an 85-inch TV at Walmart for $674.
Yep. Like They Live, that movie.
Did you wash your hands, though? That's the real question, Arwen.
What?
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna round out the show. It's been going for almost 3 hours, and now it's like I don't know what to talk about next. I really appreciate the whole conversation yesterday I had, also with Tank there and all that.
Yeah.
I got very esoteric.
Yeah, we've had some pretty good combos. Sometimes, you know, it needs to be a dip.
Yep. I mean, if you're gonna run that high with the esoterica and in the flow state, then when it stops, it can be like you can get kind of like, I want it back right now, or I'm gonna get cranky. So I get that. I'm just used to it. I'm like, oh, it's over, okay, and just immediately actively accept it, because I don't want to get cranky. I don't want to be like bipolar about it. Like, it's great or it's terrible. I don't want to have that. I'd rather be it's great or it's just a little bit slower.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's also the holidays, like...
Yeah.
We're kind of wore out from... a lot of people are stuck at home with family, and they're in and out. They're just kind of overstimulated in general.
Yeah, they need to recover from the unusual food and the amounts of it, and from family stress related things.
Yeah, being at the airport, you know, taking a long driving trip, packing,
airport,
all this stuff. Did you feed the dog?
Yeah. No, my Christmas was incredibly uneventful, but I mean, it was fine though. I did eat well. That's something. But it didn't go to my dad.
You should be able to. I'm just glad your stomach allowed you.
Yeah, no, I basically was like recovering right into Christmas, because the week before that I was in terrible shape, but I seem to have recovered from that mostly. I'm still a bit worried though. But...
There's some people that do want to get in on the panel here, so if you did want to end your show, we could move on to the next part.
All right, I can do that. Sure. Right. Yeah. So yeah, thanks for being part of the Flat Earth Early Bird 2500 this Monday, and several subjects. It was good to share. To talk a bit about. Oh, wait, that was on Earth Awakenings, the ring laser gyroscope. Yeah, but it was good to basically share the information about the silver, because that's very serious. It's very serious, and hey. People here are going to pick up on that and take it serious. I mean, that's a win-win, right? Because if you guys that like to hang around here are suddenly going to get a profit out of that, well, maybe then my e-begging will have more results. So it's, yeah. And yeah, I'd like to see everybody do good. Right? But yeah, it's been a good conversation, and thanks for letting me be part of the Worldwide Debates panel with my show, and I'm sure I'm gonna pop back in after the show, and we'll do this again another day.
All right, brother.
All right, thanks, Riggs, for having me, and I'll see you.
Problem.
Have a great day. close that. Right. Oh, man. Yeah, I could fit all these subjects into the title, but... Yeah, I'm gonna just keep the title as is, and I mean, I'm sure it's not gonna be the last time that I'm gonna bring up silver as a subject, because it's gonna be an ongoing thing. And people are gonna be shocked month by month as to like how much it's gonna increase. This is like a once in a lifetime experience. Like nobody's gonna ever see anything like this happen. It's gonna be quite unique. So, and hey, I'm understanding that very early, and I'm really hoping that people would take me serious and put actions to my words, because I can't. I don't have anything to invest, but you might, and you might get something out of it. And if you trust me, it will pay off. You will be very happy at the end of that ride. You really will, I guarantee you. So, right. But I'm rounding out. So thanks everyone for coming. I hope you liked this show. I thought it went great. It's completely dark by now, by the way. Just total darkness. But yeah, it is 5:30, so I mean, maybe in a month's time it won't be completely dark around this hour. We'll see, but now it is. So yeah, thanks everyone for coming. I hope you liked this show. If you did, then please don't forget to Rogan's it up. And if you haven't already, follow me here on Rumble and be here when I'm going live, which is normally 2 PM Amsterdam time every day. And please also do support me through the PayPal, Patreon, Gifts and Go. Links are in the description box below, or send me super chat over to Rumble live chat when the show is live, or subscribe to my channel. Support me that way. Any support would be greatly appreciated. I can, yeah, very much use it. Right, I'll be back tomorrow with Flat Earth Early Bird number 2501 on a Tuesday. Hope to see you all again then. Everybody have a great rest of this Monday, and yeah, until the next video, keep it flat.